So, with the barking, let me come back to you. With the barking, I have a question. Have you ever played barking sounds on your phone, such as if you're watching someone else's video? What's his,
Training videos, yeah. He gets a
yeah,
bit beamy when we watch the training videos sometimes.
Depends
yeah,
on the dog. Some dogs he doesn't care. Like they must sound like similar to our neighbor dogs because he's pretty chill with most of the neighbor dogs.
yeah.
But then other dogs he'll react to, like he'll perk up, especially like I'll put on your training videos and I think he's really reacting to your voice now. He's like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
We're about to do something. They're watching the training videos.
That's great. He knows my voice. So that is a very simple one to train because you can actually control the volume at home by creating literally YouTube is filled with barking sounds, or you can grab anyone's videos in the group if there's been barking. And all I want you to do is just he hears the bark and then he gets food scattered. Here's the bark, he gets food scattered. There is a video I've filmed and haven't added yet that I'm going to on box feeding. Has anyone heard of box feeding before? Box feeding is just where there is a box. So think of like what's a good example? You know, like an ice cream tub. You know, like when you're a kid and you get the vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry, those big square ice cream tubs. So one of those would be a perfect example, but no one really, I don't think many people eat those ice creams anymore, but just any box that's wide enough that wouldn't spook a dog that's never stuck their head in a box before. And then you would work up to boxes where there's flaps or even boxes that they have to, like I've done ones with Oakley where he sticks his head in, but then he can't get his head out again. I have to pull it off his head. So like when they get less and less sensitive to sticking their head in, you can do more distracting boxes. And what the idea is that the box is higher than your dog's head when they're in it, if that makes sense. So like if I've got this, my head's down and the box is above my eye level. And so what happens is your dog literally has to choose to put his head in the box and just ignore all the distractions in order to get the food. And box feeding can be really good for any dogs that a new environment just triggers them to the point that it feels stupid doing the yes training because they're reactive to everything. That makes sense. So what happens is you've just got a dog who's noise sensitive in general and feels like they need to look at everything in order to not be unsuspectedly spooked by the sound. So what happens is you go home, you next time you've got a box, you save it and you get some food for your dog. So if they eat wet food, that is tricky. I'd probably use dry food or prime for this particular activity. Dry is the best because they hear that like chink sound on the bottom of the box, but you can do it with prime as well, prime 100. They stick their head in the box because you put food in there. And as they stick their head in, you drop more and more pieces. And the idea, I will summarize it because I do have a full video for you. But the idea is that your dog hears a sound, such as you've got your phone, right? And you've got a dog barking. So you press play and it's a quiet volume, not enough for him to be set off, but enough for him to look. And then you show him the food and you put it in the box and he's like, fine. And he puts his head in and he gets more food. He takes his head out so no more food goes in and he's still hearing the looped sound. And as he's getting better and better at keeping his head in, you can drop the food more slowly because he's waiting. Like his head's in there, there's no food. Boom, food goes in. He's like, okay, I'm going to keep my head in here. Oh, more food came in. And then you turn the volume up on your phone. So what happens, this is how you desensitize your dog to storms as well, right? The volume gets really loud and the sound is playing on loop of the barking or the kids screaming or whatever your dog reacts to, the mower. And whilst it's playing, your dog's head is in the box taking all the food. As they get better at that, you then move the box into a level 1 or a level 2 area and you try maybe right next to the car where there's not too much going on and you start feeding them in the box and they go, oh, I know this game. And it starts to help bring them down if they're super reactive to literally everything in their environment. Does that make sense? I would definitely for your dog, give that a try.